Okay, so in this video, I'll be talking about all the hardware that you need to get started with Easy Wi-Fi Broadcast and what I'm using. Some of it's variable. So first thing, you need a camera. This is the Raspberry Pi version 2 camera. So I believe it is 8 megapixel. Comes with this little cable, just a 15-pin connector. And then you need a Raspberry Pi. I have a Raspberry Pi 3 here because it's the newest, best model, but you can use pretty much anything for the transmit side, which the camera will connect to, obviously, to the connector right here. I think you have to take the cover off, or maybe just lift it up. I don't know, I'll figure that out later. But you need a Raspberry Pi for the transmit side. Then you need some sort of Wi-Fi card to act as your transmitter. This is a Ubiquiti Wi-Fi station with the case off. I have the Wi-Fi stations because they seem to have a lot higher power than most other ones, and they have semi-decent receiving capabilities, so I'll be using them. We'll see how they go. Probably make a separate video on the Wi-Fi stations themselves because you have to disconnect. Well, this is a patch antenna, but if you want to use external connectors, external connected antennas with these UFLs, you have to swap some stuff around, and there's some special configuring you have to do, so I'll do those later. But you need any sort of compatible Wi-Fi card, and there's a big list on the wiki. And then the last thing you need for the transmit side is a power source, a Beck, for a 5 volts. And it's recommended you use at least a 3 amp Beck, which this one is. I've used these before and they work fine, so I'll use it in the future. So that's everything you need. Actually, no. You'll need a SD card to put in the Raspberry Pi, load it up with the image. So I got a class 10 16 gigabyte card. I'm pretty sure you can get away with anything 4 gigabytes or larger. But these were cheap enough, so I figured I'd get them. So that's for the transmit side. The receive side is almost the exact same. You need a Wi-Fi card to act as the receiver. This is a Ubiquiti Wi-Fi station with the case on. You need another Raspberry Pi to act as the receiver. And this one you really want to use the Raspberry Pi 3 model because the receiving end does a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of software and programming. So you want the fastest CPU and the most RAM you can get, which at the time is the Raspberry Pi 3. And the card just plugs in. There's no other, to connect a camera obviously on the receiving side. You need another Beck to power the receiving side. And you need another SD card to plug into the slot on the bottom here that holds the Easy Wi-Fi Broadcast image. These are micro SD cards. And that's pretty much it. And then you need some sort of way to get the image onto whatever you're watching. So I have this HDMI to micro HDMI cable that came with my goggles too, actually. So they have a, they have an input right here, and the HDMI connector on your Raspberry Pi is just right here. So that should all connect together. So basically how it works, the image goes from the camera, goes into your transmitter end Pi, which is then connected over USB to your Wi-Fi card. It beams it out. The other Wi-Fi card receives it, sends it to your Raspberry Pi, and then from there it gets either through an HDMI cord or USB tethering or Wi-Fi hotspot. It gets sent out to your display, and that's about it. Then you have high definition FPV. So I'm using, like I said, the Wi-Fi stations and the Raspberry Pis on both ends, or the Raspberry Pi 3s on both ends, which is not required. There's lots of other good Wi-Fi cards you can use. Like I said, I just picked these because they have high transmitting power, and they were only 20 bucks on Amazon, so I got 3 of them. So yeah, that's just the hardware you need. And in the next video I'll probably hook it all up and wire it all up, and I'll have to burn the image onto these and plug them in, and then we should be hopefully up and running.